I think it's part of the human condition that we, as this species, as humans, tend to edit out the bad memories. I think maybe it's a matter of survival, you know. I mean, I know it's true. I've lived in a lot of different places as a journalist, some of them hellholes, some of them lovely. But I can look back on every place I live now from this position and have, oh yes, I love living there, or something good about it. Again, I think that's just the way we are. And I think that's happened on 66. We, the editorial, we tend to edit out the bad memories, but as I say in my book there, just basically, historically on 66 and to this day, you know, it's a road of human beings, and it's the human condition. It's not the yellow brick road, it's not Oz, there's not this invisible canopy protecting the people. You're exposed to Route 66 as the same whims and mores and laws and breaking of laws and social trends as the rest of the nation. And that's not to mention just the physical tortures you could have gone through and sometimes still do. Flat tires, overheated radiators, detours, getting lost, having to fight your way through little town traffic, slow down. You gotta love time to be on this road. This time's very important. You know, look at the road historically. Born in 1926, this was not a road. In the 20s, certainly, through World War II and well after, long through the 60s and even today, if you were a racial minority. If you were African American, you know, you still had to hunt up a place. You didn't stay in all these great neon palaces on Route 66. You didn't go into the Diamonds restaurant and eat outside of St. Louis. You didn't, you know, go to the same garages and so forth that the white folks went to. If you were a Native American, the same thing. I can remember seeing, we all talk about the signs that we saw, those of us who can remember in the Deep South, you know, the colored waiting room or whites only or colored only drinking fountains. And I remember those very well off of Route 66, but I can also remember off 66 in the American West seeing no Indians allowed. No Indians, no dogs allowed, things like that. I can remember seeing in the 60s, and I am a child of the 60s, after I got out of the Marine Corps, very disillusioned with our country and what we were doing in Southeast Asia. I can remember seeing the so-called hippies getting real foul treatment out on the road. If somebody had their hair was too long or whatever, being refused service. It was not a, you know, but again, it was a reflection of the rest of the country. It wasn't just on the part of Route 66, but likewise, Route 66 wasn't necessarily an idyllic road, and it still isn't today. You know, it's not all just little, sweet little restaurants that serve cheeseburgers and have, you know, waitresses chewing gum and old Elvis records. You know, there are chain restaurants out on Route 66. It's the reality. It's part of today. There are bad people that live on Route 66. You know, and they're great people. You know, that's the reality. But what's good about it is that you still have examples of commercial archaeology, of businesses, of people that represent these different eras of our history. We can't save it all, but it's great to have an example of the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 60s, etc., and now today. And now we're creating new examples today that'll be there for tomorrow.